Hello, everyone. Welcome to Feedstuffs 365. I'm Sarah Muirhead. Neogen recently announced the sale of its genomics business to Zoetis. What might that mean for customers and for the beef genetics sector? Joining us today to discuss just that is Tom Schultz, head of commercial global genomics at Neogen. Welcome, Tom. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for having me.
For those of you that are tuning in on our audience, we want to thank you for being with us as well. If you have any questions, feel free to post those in the chat area on your screen. If you're joining us through social media, post those directly in your social feed. So, Tom, let's start by having you give us a bit of history on Neogen's genomics business. I mean, it's a pioneer in DNA testing for livestock and has really set the high standard when it comes to innovation across the livestock sector. So fill us in. What all is it that you do?
Plenty of history here, Sarah. You know, the genomics business here started out of the university back in 1996, right? And it's evolved quite a bit since 1996 into basically Neogen purchased it in 2010. And that entire genomics business was focused primarily on the livestock business and a lot of research entities. So things that brought us to the tools that we have today in the technology space coming out of the universities, a lot of partnerships, a lot of publications. So in 2010, Neogen acquired what was GeneSeq and brought that into the business. And then in 2012, Neogen acquired what was the Identity brand from what was Marielle. And that brought basically the commercial facing tools that producers see in the space today around Identity beef and Identity dairy. And since over the kind of that was 20 years ago when Identity was brought to the market, Sarah, actually in your backyard back in 2003 at one of the original beef conferences. So it's been fun seeing the evolution of product portfolio and tools that we have to exist. So we've got products that most breeders would recognize in the seed stock industry of our GGP 100K, Angus GS that we custom built for American Angus Association and is now being used at Angus Society, not only in South America, but in Australia, and great tools that kind of bring through that. In addition to that, we have genetic evaluation services, a whole bunch of other tools and resources for producers. But the fun part about us, some people may not know, is we also participate in a whole plethora of other species, such as aquaculture, like shrimp. And we built our own arrays to basically address the need in those businesses, as well as the porcine and poultry business, canine, feline, and the list would go on, Sarah, but I don't know if we've got enough time today. So, but it's been an exciting opportunity for us to basically be at this point to announce that we have basically a signed agreement and we can take the next steps forward to continue the tradition of innovation.
Quite an array of products and just the overall company. So why decide to divest of the genomics business? What is Neogen thinking there?
Yeah, well, great question. And I would have everybody reference the Neogen press release announcing this from our CEO, Mike Nassif. At the end of the day, Neogen's been focused on their core strategies around the food and animal safety segments. And so with that, they said, we knew that there would potentially maybe a better home for the genomics business to continue innovation and driving what we bring to the market, not only for sustainability, practicing for tools for producers to basically implement around the rest of the world. And so they knew there was somebody out there that would be a good fit for the business. So we're excited about it and looking forward to it.
Now, you do business in some over 120 countries. What steps are being taken to ensure a seamless integration while maintaining the continuity for customers and colleagues? I mean, all that's a really big process, especially when you're on that scale.
Yeah, great question, Sarah. So we have, labs in other countries, right? So we're just not in Lincoln, Nebraska, and sales team that represent, in addition to where we have our portfolio. So the biggest thing is around, number one was employee communication. We want to make sure that the employees knew, our direction, have some consistency in what our vision was and the why. And then most importantly, now it's the how. How do we continue to transition forward? So along those lines, we've only signed. Closing is not till later. So we still are two competitive companies, and we want to make sure that we address that, and the customers know that. But now that the employees are aware of everything that's happening, The second thing is we're trying to be preemptive, and everything we could do to tell customers that it is business as normal. We have the same service and product offerings that we have today. And now the team knows where we're going, and it's just that much more enthusiasm and excitement for the business to continue driving forward until close.
So when will we see the transaction be completed? What does that timeline look like?
Great question. The timeline, we're looking at kind of the mid second half of 2020. There's a lot of moving pieces, obviously, with the size of the organization and geography, and we're moving through those steps to expedite as much as possible, but we want to make sure that there's zero customer transition issues from our perspective. So I think that's been our main objective, and our goal for our customers is business as normal. We're going to continue the services and the product portfolio we offer today.
Very good. I'm sure we'll be checking back in with you, Tom, as things progress and we can see how this is all going to come together. Tom Schultz, Head of Commercial Global Genomics at Neogen. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Sarah.
Likewise, we appreciate all of you tuning in. For Feedstuffs, I'm Sarah Muirhead.